You know one of my favorite old Cayman songs? You know that one I go, I don't want no chip up potato.
Yeah,
chip
man.
up potato.
Yeah, man.
Bro, that's a tune, man. I don't know why they don't play that more. Seriously, I love it.
We good to go? Yeah, man, we good to go. All right, man. Welcome to the Link Up podcast for your, I guess, weekly, almost half daily, half bi-weekly series before the ballot. In the studio with us today, we have the candidate for BT West,
Yes.
Haymond Rankin. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. It's
Busy on the trail?
Super busy.
You were talking about your favorite, one of your favorite old time songs. I wanted to ask you now because your wife emailed last night.
Yeah.
With your own song.
Oh, okay.
And I pull it up. I was like, oh,
True.
my mind really went out. Yeah, made a bop.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
man.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, man, I was playing it last night.
That's what's up. How we go?
Huh?
How we go?
We gonna celebrate Haymond Rankin. Haymond Rank, something like that. Yeah, it was.
Hey, DJ, can we get the song? Can we get the tune?
Yo, she literally emailed. I was literally in bed.
You gonna have to play it.
It was late. It was super late. Hold on, let me see what time this was. I responded.
Yeah.
Hold on, where it is? Hold on, where it is? Oh gosh, many thanks. What time this is? Yesterday. Don't give me time. Yeah, it's after 10 o'clock.
Bro,
I was in bed playing this, yo. So I don't remember exactly all the lyrics, but I listened because she gave me like 5 different files, different clips.
Different clips, yeah. Because the whole song is like a little over 4 minutes, but just broke it up.
Where did you get that made?
The what?
Where'd you get the song made?
The song was a dope artist, Biggie Irie. If you watching this, thank you again. I really appreciate you. Yeah.
Okay. And did you like have any input into what the song was gonna be, or?
Yeah, well, we sent him some lyrics. I sent him some lyrics, and he turned that around in like 24 hours. It was ridiculous, and the quality was, oh my gosh. And then it took me like a week to get into the studio so I could record my parts. I'm talking throughout. I don't think we actually sent you the full clip, the full 4 minute plus, but towards the end you'll hear a section of.
Is it on Spotify?
No, I actually haven't released it.
No, because the problem is if it is or whatever, sometimes there's copyright problems. So we played in the YouTube video.
No,
I don't want to get struck.
No, that's all. That's
so if we play the tune now with the post production, I just don't want to get struck.
No, it's absolutely the beat is.
Give us some clearance.
That's all. You have clearance, sir. Yes. Oh, that's what you're asking me. Okay, yeah. No, you're good to go.
So we met before one time. I think we sat together. I can't remember where. I think it might have been a B-Sides conference one time or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely
at the Kimpton, I believe. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if it's tech, that was
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we met there, and you introduced yourself. You worked at the Ombudsman at the time.
Yes, correct.
And at the time, I was like, oh, I never met anybody who worked there before. What exactly do you do? Mm-hmm. Right? And you began to explain to me what your role was. And I guess for people that may not know about the how I guess integral the ombudsman is in the community and what role they play, you want to I guess edify the audience a bit for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Ombudsman Office is responsible for watching over government. They are the government watchdogs. When I worked there, I spent about a little over 4 years there.
What role were you in?
So I started as a data protection analyst there. I then got promoted to deputy ombudsman. So I went from, they have 2 streams, right? So let me tell you about the Ombudsman Office first, and then I guess I could tell you about the journey. So the Ombudsman Office is the government watchdog. They are responsible for regulating a lot of laws, right? And it's 2 business streams. You have the information rights side, and then you have the complaint side. 2 different sides. The information rights deals with data protection, and they deal with freedom of information. So any organization in Cayman Islands is directly responsible for adhering to the Data Protection Act, right? With government, you're responsible for adhering to the Freedom of Information Act. Now, that's the information rights side. On the complaint side, you deal with multiple different things as well. So you have complaints against the government, complaints against the police, and
Complaints against the
the
police.
police.
Oh.
Yes, yes.
You ever
yes.
had to do an investigation into that?
Oh, many.
Oh, really?
Many. When I used to, and it's so funny because when I used to walk into certain areas, the police would like, Mr. Rankin, Mr. Rankin. I'm like, calm down, guys. I'm looking at your name badge. You're fine. Your name hasn't come across my desk. Everything is okay. But God bless them, right? And besides those two things, whistleblower complaints.
Okay.
So
these were in like corporations and
corporate or government.
Okay.
Those are the two that applied. The laws that are applied across government and private sector, we had one on each. So it was a whistleblower on the complaint side and the Data Protection Act on the information rights side. So that's like a quick snapshot into, you know, what the Ombudsman Office is responsible for. And when I was getting qualified as a lawyer at an international firm, my background really was deep rooted in fintech related matters. I loved it. Like, have you heard of initial coin offerings?
Yeah. IPOs.
ICOs. Yeah, no,
ICOs.
absolutely. So I was responsible for writing a manual. I'll never forget this. It was like month one starting my articles, and I had a partner, two partners actually, come to my desk, and they had this big stack of papers, and they were like, Haymond, this is the BV Bermuda, one of the B's, BVI Bermuda, I can't remember which one. I think he said the BVI actually. This is the BVI's position on Bitcoin, and he threw it on my desk. I want you to research what the position is for Cayman from a regulatory environment. I said, okay. And he walked off. And I'll never, ever forget, I got taken back to college, University of Tampa. All my Tampa Spartan fans out there, go Spartans. Shameless plug, right? I was taken back to University of Tampa days where there was this guy named Phil. And Phil and my roommate, Reed was bless him, super nice Asian chap, and he wanted to be a heart surgeon. So, needless to say, Reed was always in his room. He was studying or playing World of Warcraft, always. And Reed's good friend was this guy named Phil. And Phil and him would always be in my room, like flipping through books on this game or like studying for something. And I was a basketball player at the University of Tampa. So I was a bit of a jock. That's why I've had multiple knee surgeries over the years. But I'll never forget, Phil got into two different things. He was into penny stocks for cannabis, and he was into Bitcoin. And one day after a basketball scrimmage, I'm outside, ice all over me, on my knees, on my ankles, everywhere, right? Because you could like tape them up. And we were outside chatting. And me, my basketball guys, and some other folks, and Phil walks up. And mind you, Phil has like glasses, and he just like always does this thing. And he walks up to me, cookie. And I'm like, bro, yes, Phil. And I'm looking around at all my friends, right? And he says, I just want a moment. I want to speak to you guys. Have you heard of this thing called penny stocks? And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? He literally takes out a fanny pack from his behind and like moves it around to the front.
Oh, he had the full.
He was ready. He was ready. He was in sales mode, and he starts like pulling out all these things. And he's like, cannabis is legal now. And I think he said Canada or California. My memory escapes me. That was a very long time ago. But I'm like, Phil, we're basketballers, NCAA Division II. Like, what are you on about? We're not interested. And he said, okay, yeah, my bad. And he puts it all back in. And he said, well, have you heard of this thing called Bitcoin? It's this new magical internet money. And I'm like, Phil. And I'm looking around because he's like, bless him. He's a bit different socially. And I said, you know what? Come to the room later and we could talk about it. So then he left. Needless to say, the way that interaction went, I didn't buy any Bitcoin when it was like $1 or something like that because of Phil. This was like 2010, I believe. And then when you fast forward to these two partners coming and throwing this paper on my desk and saying, research it. I went and I looked because I said, I knew I heard about this before. Where did I hear this word Bitcoin? And effectively, I went online and I looked at the price. You see, when I saw the price of that,
Your life flashed before your eyes.
bro, my heart start palpitating for like a good 2 minutes. I just remember putting my head down on that desk after, like, why, God, why? And that was it. That's all it took. And from then until now, I have been deep in the crypto space. I proceeded to write a massive memorandum on the regulatory landscape of Bitcoin that was then used. That set the benchmark. A lot of people don't know this, but that set the benchmark across the industry. This was before the Virtual Asset Service Providers Act came into force. So it was kind of like, they say it was the days of the Wild Wild West. You know, you had ICOs popping up left, right, and center. People,
I remember them. Every day.
Every day something new was coming up. Yeah. But I found that really exciting because I realized, thinking back from college days until at that point in 2000, and it was like August. It was like maybe August of 2016 when I started. And it was given that task, I just realized, like, this is the future, man. And I became the Bitcoin Jesus. Wrote that manual. Then I wrote another step guide how to launch ICOs in the special economic zone. And that's what I was doing. And I loved it. So I'm saying all that to say, you know, once I finished and I qualified as an attorney, I was offered something in litigation. And I was like, yeah, and I'm also equally good at that. But I don't think that is what I want to do. I want to do something fintech related. And separate to all of that, I was on a government scholarship. The government paid for me to go to uni. And I knew I had to put in my 3 years. But nobody called me. Nobody was looking. And it was like, all right, well, I guess I could stay here. But realistically, I didn't find any job satisfaction. And I knew I wouldn't have found any job satisfaction moving forward, helping some billionaire get his yacht back, helping somebody overseas do something, right? So I said, you know what? I know the government are chasing me down, but I owe them 3 years, and I'm going to do something that I can help give back to the community. And that is where the Ombudsman Office came in, and the data protection thing. That's all fintech. So it just all made sense for me. Yeah.
So I've heard you mention many times that you feel that digital assets, blockchain technology is going to be the future.
It is the future
for Caymanian, or we could have a great, I guess, a slice of that pie.
Yes.
As Caymanians. How do you envision that, and how do you envision Caymanians participating in that space?
The ultimate goal, I'll start at the ultimate goal, and I guess I'll go back a little bit. The ultimate goal for me is to see our youth be able to dominate the space from a building standpoint, right? Historically, Cayman has been a place where we have a big seafarers heritage, right? Like, you have some of these things like right behind you,
right?
Like, we built boats, we went fishing. That was our heritage. And somewhere along the line, we've lost the ability to be experts at building catboats, at going out fishing on a mass scale. Where I see us today, I keep on asking myself this question: what has the government done over the past, X amount of decades to prepare us to really dominate an industry, to be experts at something? And yes, you could say, or we could be, expert construction workers or expert whatever. But realistically, is that preparing us to compete globally? Because with the seafarer things, we competed globally. People came to our shores to commission us to do things. How can we get back to that place? And blockchain technology provides us with this opportunity. The tech industry provides us with this opportunity. Now, what I see ultimately is a system in place where from a very young age, you're learning about technology. I want to see a 5-year-old learning how to code. It can happen.
So you want more STEM inside the school?
I want more STEM, and I want more programs that are directly related to building knowledge around blockchain technology, because not only is it the future, it's also happening now. Look at what Trump is doing, for instance, in America. He has a whole Bitcoin reserve. He has a whole entity set up to purchase cryptocurrencies. He's buying Bitcoin. He's buying Ethereum. He's buying Solana. And why is that? Because the person who controls the crypto in the mindset of a lot of people will be able to control the financial future of an individual, or in this instance, a country. So for me, in a setup, I'm starting from the ultimate vision. I guess I'll take it back a little bit now. So ultimate vision, Caymanian kids, from time they're 5, go right up. They're coding. They should be, if you have kids, do you have kids?
No.
But when you have kids, hopefully I don't put my mouth on you. I'm not sure how you feel about that.
My mother begging.
She begging. Come on, man. Bless her. But when that day comes, I would love for your children, right?
Yeah, man.
To be in a position where they could sit on your couch from time they're young and be coding and making $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month from doing simple, well, I say simple, right? But tasks online that are related to coding, right? Building software, building programs that help power the future. There's so many special economic zone companies right now that operate in the tech space that are making hand over fist millions of dollars, some a month. I've actually heard a guy tell me he make 2.3 million or something like that a day. And I'm like, how? Well, I do payment processing and, okay, that makes sense. But imagine if our Caymanians were in a position to not only go and work in some of those companies, but create some of those companies of the future as well.
So these are the companies you're talking about that reside and operate in Cayman.
Yeah. And I don't see, and apologies if there are a bunch of Cayman companies that have cropped up, since I've stepped away from Cayman Finance. But I haven't met any of those companies that are run by, I haven't met a Cayman company that is run by a Caymanian that is a tech,
right?
In the fintech crypto space. And if you are, again, apologies, please reach out to me. I would love to learn more about your business. But that's the ultimate goal. But to take it back, how can government make money from that right now? How can government benefit from that right now? If Cayman was in a position to not squander its money, and the only way we could be in that position is if we have leaders who not only understand and have background to be able to manage the books of the island, but let's just assume the CINP, Cayman Islands National Party, gets in right across the board. We run the government. We will be in the country will be in a much better position, I genuinely believe, to shore up our books. You see, the minute our books are shored up, we could be in a surplus like this. The problem has been for too long, we're wasting money. And I'm not just talking. Read the Auditor General's report. Just read it, right? And it was in the news as well. The minute we have a surplus, we can you pick a number. If we could spend millions, tens of millions on revitalization projects that takes 4 years, that bankrupts multiple businesses. If we could go spend almost 10 million on a park, right, where there's massive issues in housing and crime surrounding that park. If we could, and I could name out multiple more, I call them government pet projects, right, that makes, when you really look at it, it makes no sense. If we could take a fraction of that money, once we're good, we're in a surplus, right, and just plop that money, and this is the most basic rudimentary entry level into crypto. You could put money into a crypto savings account, right? What if I told you, if the government was to take $10, $20 million, just that, and I would be proposing we do a lot more than that, right? Because we're in a surplus, everything's good, our books are shored up. What if I told you the day that you put your money into a crypto savings account, and this isn't some weird, oh my God, scammy thing. This is regulated stuff, right? We have an industry here that's already thriving. What if I told you the day that you put that money in there, the next day you start to earn interest on it? Guess how much interest you could be earning on it? Pick a number.
I'm going to say several percent by the sounds of it.
Okay, I guess I'm talking it up too much, but give me a number.
I don't know, 2%?
Double that. It would be starting at 4.5%, up to almost 10% 10% depending on if you wanted to lock it in, like a fixed term type of structure, or if you just wanted to leave it and you could pull out your money at any point. Depending on which one you choose, the rates fluctuate. Imagine if you were to put in 10 million, 20 million, 100 million. You know how much money the government could be making every single day? And in some platforms, you could get paid out those funds daily.
But what's the risk involved in that, right? I mean, I don't know what the position would be, but I mean, with that kind of money, you would obviously have compliance and risk, I guess, evaluations done on those kinds of things. So
the risk compared to what? To a local, to not low, I say local, no disrespect to the local bank.
To a traditional retail.
To a traditional retail bank. Well, back in the day, we had a traditional retail bank. And I'm not going to call any names. I invite everyone to do their research. But that bank went bankrupt. And that's not the first bank that's gone bankrupt. That's not the first bank that's been fined. That's not the first bank that's had issues. There are risks involved with everything we do in life. Driving here today was a risk. Everything we do, there's a risk attached. But what I will say to you is the industry has evolved rapidly, and there's a lot of regulations around the stuff that I'm talking about right now. Right now, Cayman is one of the largest places in the world in terms of funds who invest in cryptocurrencies. Out of everywhere else in the world, if you look at the funds industry, a lot of our funds have owned Bitcoin. They already own Ethereum. So when you say, well, the risk, well, to me, the risk is we're losing out. We're getting left behind. That, to me, is a much bigger risk than putting your money there and earning daily, right? You could get paid out daily. Some places you get paid out monthly. But every day, every month, that money, that's interest, the government could stick in their local traditional retail bank and say, hey, who need a scholarship? Hey, who need X, Y, and Z? That's money that can be used to build a hospital down up in Bodden Town. That's money that could be used to put the fire station down up in Bodden Town.
You feel that, speaking of that, you feel that those are some of the things that Bodden Town needs?
If somebody was to break their back in Northward or the back of Beach Bay right now, how long do you think it would take for them to get emergency services?
The back of Beach Bay? That's a long drive.
You telling me? You telling me?
Just from the main road down to the back of Beach Bay could take you 10, 15 minutes.
Well, imagine that those ambulances are coming from a yonder.
I guess that's a little bit long, but
well, I mean, if you drive slow,
yeah,
the granny.
Yeah.
no disrespect to the granny out there, but I feel like there's a lot that is missing up in Bodden Town. We don't even have a civic center. And I'm talking about Bodden Town on the whole. We had one. And then that turned into like a refugee camp. And then that refugee camp got burned down. And now we have a big burnt building.
And what's happening with that?
I don't know. That's in the east.
Yeah.
Although I care. And I at some point I'm going to have to work together with whoever gets elected in the east to really figure out, what happened there. Can you give me a little bit more information? Because certain things is available to the public, and that information is all, I think, would also be limited. But I think if elected, if I have the support of the people come the 30th of April, I can be in a much better position to have those conversations with elected officials, because I would also be one as well, and figure out what was the issue? Why did we use that building for that purpose? My family, we used to go there religiously 2-3 times
The Civic Center.
The Civic Center,
Yeah.
religiously. I used to go there and play basketball. I used to teach my kids how to play basketball. My daughter, I love my children, man. Like, her basketball shot, even up to today, wetty on wet. Like, I'm talking 2-pointers, 3-pointers, you name it, she can shoot. My son, same thing. And that was from 2-3 years worth of just going there consistently playing. And I'll never forget, one day we just saw some random people hanging around, and it went from a couple people to like a lot of people. And it went from one guy on the fence like this, like his hand on the fence and just staring, to 2, 3, 4. I remember at one point 4 guys just like literally like staring at us. And it was like an uncomfortable stare. We're like, why are you staring at my daughters and my what? Like, nah, I can't. And then I realized that that was a refugee camp. Like, there was clothes on the fence drying. There, it just dilapidated like over time, and then all of a sudden instantly. And this is right by our police station. This is right by our little clinic. You know, this is by our basketball field, a basketball court, a football field. I just, up to today, I still don't really understand why that happened, you know. And now that's gone. And we just stopped going there. I felt uncomfortable going there, right? Bodden Town on a whole is in need of a lot of things. And I genuinely believe that I am in a position to deliver the change that we need, you know, whether it's from my experience at the Ombudsman Office, really seeing, you know, all the complaints. So you name a complaint in government, you name a government department, my team has probably investigated it. We've made recommendations. I made a post a couple of days ago in relation, just a snapshot of some of the things that we looked at and the results that were achieved as a result of our investigation and our hard work. But I'll throw it back to you. I know you have a lot of questions.
No, man,
so.
you good,
yeah.
you good, man. It's, you know, if you want to say your mind, you can say your piece, man.
Yeah.
You can say your piece. So in Bodden Town, speaking of sports and stuff like that, I guess there's quite a few areas that you feel that you've had, quite a bit of experience in. What about your experience in sports in Cayman?
Well,
and do you have any thoughts about our athletes and how we can get to the next level? Because you said you played D2 basketball.
Yeah.
And such.
I, for the love of me, cannot figure out why we don't wholeheartedly support our athletes. I don't understand it. It's a case where I've seen time and time again, our athletes have to work so hard. Their parents have to invest so much into them, right? And I've seen it time and time again. And you know when the government gives support? It's not when the parents come knocking. It's not when the athletes go knocking when they're young, even when they're old. It's when they finally succeed and there's some news article and like they get in praise overseas. Then all of a sudden you see the government official come up and be like, young man, good young lady, good job. You wanna do what? You wanna take credit now at this point? I don't subscribe to that. I feel, again, from a young age, we need to be looking after our youth in all aspects. You know, I genuinely, and I'm not going to stop talking about crypto, right? And preparing them for jobs of the future, because the future is now, right? So the longer we take, the further behind we're going to be as a people. And our greatest resource is our people. We not strike oil yet. We not find no gold. Like, you see what happened to the 7 Mile Beach. I know they say tourism, but you seen how that's dilapidated. And that's not been addressed. I don't understand it. Like, simple things need to be addressed that are not. But realistically, what do we have? What do we consistently have? We have our people. So we need to prepare them, right? To live, to be contributing members of society. And I don't think it's conducive to wait until the last minute, to when all the praise come, to when they get 2-time Mr. Olympian or Mr. America, to then want to reach out. What were you doing while he was on that journey?
You mean to assist him elevating his game? Yeah.
That's just one athlete I could think of off the top of my head. You know, our Olympian, God bless that swimmer. He's inspired my daughter so much as well she's in CBAC now, right? Because of just the drive that we are pushing, me and my wife, Shari Walton Rankin is pushing behind her. But when she saw him compete in the Olympics, like her drive, that dial got turned up like to the maximum. It's always, Daddy, I want to go. I want to do this. I want to do that. And every time we go to CBAC and we sit down and we watch her swim, was like, where the rest of the Caymanians at?
You're gonna get buy-in from me. I've been the biggest advocate for Caymanian swimmers that you will find. I feel that the government should be spending resources hand over fist supporting our swimmers, because that has been the area that we have had the most success in for decades.
Yeah.
Right, that has been the most successful sport that we participated in. We've done very well in track and field, or sprinting specifically, but swimming has been where we have had the closest success in terms of achieving the highest level. So I do feel there that the government, well, this isn't really for me to say, this is for you.
No,
sorry, I got off topic there.
No, time out.
Forgot my job.
No, time out. Listen, right? I don't believe that as a politician, you have to spit things at people and tell them what should be done. I genuinely want an open dialogue. I want you to say your piece. Get that off your chest, bro. We Caymanians. You understand?
Yeah, man.
And if you don't talk and I don't listen and be in a position to actually do something, nothing can get done. So say what you can say.
Absolutely. Well, no. Just in terms of swimming, I feel that the government should spend a lot of resources investing into the swimmers and moving that forward.
And I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that statement.
So the campaign trail, you were in the purple.
Absolutely, purple and teal. Yes.
So, ask every candidate, what was that call like? From the, was it the big dog that called you and, hey man, come see me?
Yeah. Well, kind of. Yeah, it was a long process.
Were you thinking about running before the party had announced, or was it the party that kind of got you more like?
No, I was thinking about this like well within my Ombudsman Office days. Just seeing the foolishness, man. Like, what? And I'm reading stuff like, I kept on saying this, like doing all this legal analysis. My job, I was basically a lawyer at the Ombudsman Office, because it was a lot of legal research. It was a lot of critical analysis. It was a lot of writing of reports, apart from interviewing, I would say millions, but, a lot of people were interviewed on a regular basis. Statements were taken, things were done. And when you analyze all of that information as one, it's like, what? Why are we in this position? Why is this ministry doing X? Why have the police done Z? Don't we care? Don't we care about our people? And that for me was a big push to make the decision to try and prepare myself for the election season. So at a certain point, close to a year before elections came, that's when I resigned, and or I made my intentions clear that I was going to resigned. And I started to work for a company it's a nonprofit organization called Cayman Finance. And with that, within 2 weeks of starting Cayman Finance, because of my background and because of my know-how in the fintech virtual asset space, I was being sent to Consensus. Which is at the time was held in Austin, Texas. I was in Canada. I was in Singapore. I was in Barcelona. I was overseas in multiple places representing my country. I was getting to give back at a very high level, high caliber, because not only am I out there talking, giving speeches, bringing people into the islands, I'm helping to create jobs. I'm helping to educate the youth, the people my age, older people, about the future, fintech, cryptocurrencies and whatnot. And I really enjoyed that time that I was there, because I had that satisfaction. I am doing something for my country. I love that. And that was the precursor to where I am today. So I think I started speaking to Dan maybe August, September last year.
Did you know him prior?
No, I didn't know him prior. I was introduced. I made my intentions clear to someone who I respect in the community. I won't call any names. And we reached out to them. That person reached out to Dan. We started to speak, and we had a series of conversations. and it was a lot of back and forth. Him trying to suss me out, me trying to suss him out, and it was like, is this, I got to make sure, I get on board the right team. But in the end, after, we were comfortable with each other, and that took some time, took multiple hours, over multiple days. But in the end, I was very comfortable with him. Once I really got to understand him, his way of thinking, and what he really brings to the table, I'm like, yes, Commander-in-Chief, let's do it. And then when he introduced me to my other running mates, I was like, thank the Lord. This is a group of like-minded individuals. There's no career politicians here. Nobody here is doing this for a job. No one here is unemployed looking for a job. These are highly successful. We're all highly successful people within our own right. And I think that that's very important because we all bring something different to the table, and I think that's what the country really needs. We don't need a continuous recycling of past folks who we've seen their track record. Like, we know what you bring to the table. Why are you trying to put on some makeup and pretend like you're brand new? No disrespect to all the females that wear makeup,
Speaking of females, your wife is one of your biggest, I guess, helps during the campaign.
Absolutely, that's my campaign manager. Yeah. That's my right hand. Yeah,
she's
absolutely
emailing me late hours. I'm up working as well.
Yes.
She seems like she's working very, very hard for you, and for the team.
She's working hard for this country. And for me, yeah.
Very. Yeah. I wanted to ask, what was that conversation like with your wife and getting her on board with the idea? Because obviously it's a big sacrifice, putting yourself out there in the spotlight and getting all eyes on you now, and everybody looking, I guess with your competition and stuff to, I guess, with it comes, with putting yourself out there comes scrutiny, comes everybody like, who's he for? What has he done? All that kind of stuff. Was she ever worried about any of that?
My wife knows me. Are you married?
No, sir.
All right. Well, when you're married and when you get your kids in the next 2 years, Mom, how long you want it? In the next 2 months?
Listen, next Mom, year. If you're watching this, the words and views expressed by Mr. Rankin do not represent me.
Sorry for your spot,
you good. I just joking. Man.
Yeah, but listen, anyone who's married knows that your wife, your significant other, they know you best. They really do. And my wife knows me. And she's know I've talked about this for quite a while. But everything happens in God's timing. I genuinely believe that. And she also believes that. And when this opportunity came up and I told her, look, I've been speaking with Mr. Dan Scott. This is the party. This is, who we have on the slate so far. She was like, Haymond, yes, it makes sense. Cayman needs saving right now. Cayman is at a precipice that if we don't do something now, you think it bad now? So she said, Haymond, do your thing. I fully support you. I love you. It can be hard. I know that. Things are going to come up. Whatever.
Yeah.
Your skin tough, your back strong, and God got us. And that's the God honest truth. So, and that's how that conversation went.
So, obviously, since your name's been out there, you've had a local blog try to bring up something and mischaracterize a story that happened in your past, and you quickly gave an explanation and kind of quelled all of that kind of a thing there. The stories out there have been dealt with. I wanted to more ask you, what was that feeling like for you personally, kind of feeling like you've put yourself out there for what you believe are all the right reasons, and here you are now being kind of attacked for what seems to be a I guess, what would they call it, a nothing burger for the most, for some sort.
Yeah, my feelings, how do I answer this question? It was mildly disappointing, to say the least. But at the same time, everybody everyone has the right to express how they feel. And if that blog felt like that was necessary to be said for whatever reasons, that is within their rights to have done so. I know what I was getting myself into when I decided to put my hat in the race. So for me, it was slightly disappointing, but at the same time, it was also expected. That doesn't impact me in any way, shape, or form, other in a negative sense. What that has really done has given me more drive. It has given me more determination, and I'm a determined person by nature. So all that has done has light another fire underneath me, and it's just gonna make me want to continue to work hard to be in a position come May the 1st to say, I'm ready. Let's go, Mr. Scott. Let's go CINP. Let's do this. Let's save this country.
So hitting the road, going door to door, meeting all the folks there, getting them to sit. I'm assuming you're sitting down on people's couches on the front porch.
Eat fritters and black beans. Shout out to the individual who made those. I won't call your name, but those fritters, black beans with that lemonade. When they said it to me, I was like, that does not sound like a good combination.
Wait, so hold on. So you just showed up at the door to introduce yourself, and they're like, "Come on in for some food."
No. That's not how it happened. We had our canvassers go out. They canvassed, and anytime someone we make a note, this person specifically wants to meet and see you, then I will call separately or have the team call and arrange a meeting. And I spoke to this one individual and his family. It's like, I can't wait for you to come over and we'll have all these things to talk about. And you got to taste my famous, my fritters and black beans. And I was like, the fritters and black beans.
Was there some Latin influence in there?
I don't know. They don't look Latin, but boy, that was.
I don't think I heard of that one.
Me either. But it was
fire.
Man, with the seasoned peppers, I was like, oh gosh, I can't believe I was stuffing my face just listening to him talk. It was good. But yeah, I'm sitting on a lot of couches. I'm meeting a lot of people, and the feedback is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's also disheartening to see the conditions that some of my constituents, Caymanians, are living in.
You ever get emotional scenes of people in the homes? Oh yeah, children.
Bro, I didn't even want to talk about that too much. Because I don't want to get emotional on the link up, and got me on camera reposting with a little tear in the eye there. But I'll share this one story with you. And I won't call any names again. But there's this one individual, hands-on person. They fix things, and they said in the process of fixing something, they sustained an injury. Basically, something fell, and I'm saying something because I don't want to give too much detail so people could figure out who I'm talking about. But something fell on them, and they had a lot of damage sustained to their body. That person lifted up their shirt partially, and it looked like something out of a movie. Like this, I thought it was tattoos, the scars that are all over this person's body. And this is an elderly individual. He I think he said he was 62, 63 or something like that. And I'm like, sir, seriously? What? And he said, I don't have any insurance. I don't have anything. And, I've been here. I can't really work as I used to because that's how I used to make a living. But now I get winded easily. I can't move like how I used to. And then he said, conversation went on, and he said, come inside, let me show you something. Let me show you how we're living.
He wanted to see.
Yeah, dang. So I started to think about it. Now, this was so hard to witness. This gentleman took me inside his house. You're
good, man. You're good.
Man, it's sad to know where people living like this. This man took me inside of his house, right? He took me inside of his house. And within maybe 30 seconds,
I started to feel like my throat itching. Right, I felt funny. He showed me around, and I looked up. Well, I looked up to the right, and I saw a tree
In the house?
in the house. I was like, what going on here? You can literally see outside of the man's yard from inside of his house through his roof. There was mold inside of that entire house.
That's why you're getting choked up.
And like, yeah, exactly. Because I actually had it's so funny, right before, it's not funny, but right before I started the campaign, one of my bathrooms were leaking, and I didn't notice it until all of a sudden me and the family were waking up and we had all these things underneath our eyes. Like, why is it dust in the ducts or something like that? But come to find out, it was mold from this leaking shower. And when I went to that guy's house, it was like maybe 2-3 weeks after this, it like activated whatever I had still in my system from my own house, right? From this little incident in my bathroom. And I just really and that's why I get emotional, because I'm thinking to myself, if my entire family, right, can have allergic reaction to mold from a little bathroom, right, our guest bathroom at that, how this man living in a house where I can visibly see mold
Growing
everywhere in this man's house, and he full of scars, something drop on top. How are we live? How you living like this, sir? Who have you spoken to? Well, I've spoken, and I've taught, and I've been made promises, and for 8 years, nothing has been done. This is another reason why I know what I'm doing has to be done. We have people in there, we've had people in there, and we have people in there now that do not care about our people. I care. I left a high-paying, lucrative legal career to go into the Ombudsman Office to be able to give back. So yes, you have not seen me out cutting people bush and putting up bench and whatever, if that's what you think is needed. But I have been systematically for the past 4 years working at a very, very high level to change policies, to change laws within government and the police to serve justice for our people. And as a government worker, I mean, because technically I was still a government worker, you can't go out and hoop and holler and all about it. But I've been working in the background tirelessly. And now I believe it's the right time to come out to the public, to work, to make change across the island on an even higher level. And that's why I'm doing this, man.
I was going to ask you for closing comments, but I think I think you really think you closed it out there, hit it out the park.
All right, appreciate that.
Just wanted to say I wanted to wish you the best going forward. Thank you again for coming through. If you want to tell people that anybody that you may have not reached out to yet, how they can get in touch with you, just give out your socials, phone number, whatever it may be.
Okay. Well, you can visit the Cayman Islands National Party website. I think it's Cayman Islands, CaymanNationalParty.ky. If you click on the right-hand side and look for candidates, you look for my name, you'll see all of my contact information there. My number is 922-6069. That's 922-6069. And I genuinely mean this. I am doing this for the right reasons. I care about the Cayman Islands people, and I hope come 30th of April that I have your vote, your support. I beg you, please, let's save this country together. Vote for me, vote for my team and the Cayman Islands National Party, and we will deliver the change that Cayman desperately needs. Thank you all.
Mr. Rankin, it's been a pleasure. We meet once again.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll meet again in the future. And for everybody that's listening at home, feeding your kids, preparing dinner, on your drive to work, from work, or at work, we appreciate you tuning in to the Link Up podcast. Until next time, everyone, stay safe and enjoy your day.